Hello everyone, we're back with a new build setup and testing out some of the late game weapons from the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Here I'm busting out the Sword of Darkness, but the main focus of this invasion is going to be Electrocharge, which is a new spell that I would say is most similar to Fire's Deadly Sin. This one doesn't damage yourself, but it also doesn't do a ton of damage. It's not exactly what I would say very good at damage. As you can see, even in water, it was only doing like 8 or 9 damage. But I think one thing that it does do is that it causes players to panic. Because the first time I ran into this, I also panicked. So if nothing else, it's pretty good for that, and it has a pretty long duration while charged. So in this particular setup, I got everything set so I could try some of the new madness stuff. And in conjunction with that, I can use the greatsword of damnation, which is not actually going to be used very much in this particular invasion. But I can also test out some of the new eternal sleep weapons, specifically Thioller, excuse me, Thioller's needle and the velvet sword of Saint Trina. But here, I'm going to try and use Wrath from Afar, which I love that it does a little bit of damage. Like, it's not a ton, but I do appreciate that it does damage and just, like, knocks opponents back. So as you can see, I've foregone Arcane and focusing on Faith primarily as my damage stat, but enough Dex and Strength to use a variety of weapons. And I have Troll's Roar on, as you can see, because the ledging tools, Gravity is a very powerful tool. I really, really love the Lizard Greatsword. The 12 Strength, 14 Dex requirement makes it really easy to use one-handed. And here, because I have defeated both the phantoms, and the only part I cut out of this invasion was just like surveying the land and finding them. But here, since I defeated both phantoms, I'm just going to go in and test out the new eternal sleep weapons. I have no idea whether or not this is a separate status bar and whether or not the boluses work. I'm mostly just going through for fun, seeing how this works. What's really cool is that Thioller's needle overwrites the Ash of War, so you can use it as an offhand for like straight sword fist, and then use the Sleep Evermore, which does bonus damage to enemies that are inflicted with eternal sleep, and it has a really cool animation. But I did forget, and I wanted to actually use the mist to get the buff on the velvet sword. And the damage is not great because I only have like the bare minimum intelligence and then dex for it, where these are like dex int weapons, not faith weapons. But I can use them, and even without the huge damage in a 1v1 scenario, they seem pretty good. As you can see there, I actually timed it right, and then boom. That was a lot of really good damage off of just like effectively a free hit because of the sleep if you're in position. So these ones can do really good damage. GG guys, that was a really fun invasion. But as comes with the territory of testing new weapons, like Lita's sword, sometimes you don't always win. But this one's still a really good invasion, and I think it shows off just a lot of really cool stuff. This person is doing effectively what I would say is the Dark Souls 3 playthrough of their rune-arced solo Taunter's Tongue, but they don't have blues on. So like I can't really complain too much, because it's in Dark Souls 3 you would be embered, and that would allow invaders to come into your world. So yeah, and there I almost get entirely one shot. I probably lived on like 1 HP. I don't know if they were doing what they were, if they wanted to like go with dual stuff or chasing down, but that was a sick parry that they got. I'm glad that they fixed the the bug with rolling sparks, because the perfumes are just cool. I really like that you can also, like, since perfumers are enemies, that you just get to use their stuff, and especially it's nice that there's like a variety of elemental effects, like with lightning, magic damage, or physical damage for the poison, and then like the madness one. So like it's really nice, and it's also because they can't get parried, but they're gonna get another sick buckler parry on me in a second because I went mashing R1 and they got me. So GG host. That was a really fun fight, and also it was just cool to see all the different stuff, and also it's nice to see that the lightning perfumes don't do the lightning spread on water. So yeah, like I know that I've gotten pretty skilled at this, and I know that in terms of entertainment stuff, it's nice seeing wins, but that one was just such a solid fight with so much cool stuff in it that I wanted to show it off. And now here, I just know that there's a lot of guys, there's magic, and that I just need to run. And this is going to be another one where this one actually will show off the Ash of War of Sword of Darkness a little bit more than not at all. So I don't know whether or not they have the door open yet. So right now I'm kind of just holding them off on the stairs, seeing if anyone's gonna slip up. But they just ended up throwing a bunch of magic at me, which fair. But that kind of forced me down here, and then they decide to follow rather than head straight to the boss door. So this way I can do an ambush with the omens in this room. So, and then to do the end, knowing that it's going to be a relatively enclosed space, I have my Mesmer Soldier Axe, which I love. Mini Warped Axe is amazing. Multi-layered Rings of Light is okay. Like, it does a lot of damage if you hit with the initial ring. The lingering rings don't do a ton of damage, but if nothing else, they're like an AoE thing to panic, and I think it would just shred someone on a ladder. And it's nice to see that Wrath from Afar does amazing stamina damage to blockers, and here I'm just able to shred through with the, I think they might have had the holy damage resistance debuff. I'm not sure whether or not that yeah, Wrath from Afar doesn't do a lot of damage, but I really like the knockdown. It's like a good momentum shift. And even though it's not probably as powerful as the bleed infused, good old Stormcaller on the Mesmer Soldier Axe saves the day here. And now that I've defeated both of the Phantoms, the host is doing a very desperate attempt to run for the boss. Here I'm probably messed up a little bit and needed to free aim the Rings of Light down there, but that was still really fun to me. Like, good luck with the boss now that you have no phantoms and like 30% of your health left. Yeah, so I'm very much enjoying the testing all of the late game spells, and just by the immense variety I can pack into this stat package. I've got 50 vigor, 15 strength, 18 dex, 14 int, base 36 faith, and the rest of it, I think I dumped one into endurance because I had a spare level, and this is just otherwise base profit stats. So this one's a pretty long invasion, but I think I make a lot of really good decisions, and it also gives me a little bit of time to talk about the equipment setup. I have the Frenzy Flame Seal. However, it doesn't have as good of a spell scaling as the Dry Leaf Seal. So the advantage of the Frenzy Flame is it boosts the Frenzy Flame incantations, which I'm just not really testing out at this point, even though I want to test the Madness Hands and the Madness Perfume. But the Dry Leaf Seal just has like 30 more incantation boosts casting number than the rest of the sacred seals, even the Frenzy Flame one, so I'm just like, alright, I guess apparently this one's really good. But it does have 1.5 carry weight rather than the 0 of the Frenzy Flame seal. So that's at least interesting to consider. There I was being very cautious about going up onto the dragon because I don't know how many phantoms there are, and although I can use Troll's Roar to throw them off the ledge if I'm in the wrong position, getting caught on the terrain there is difficult. And since these guys are going really slowly and cautiously and very much looking behind them, I use the finger shuffle in an attempt to get a better position. So here I'm now on the other side of them. I can check they haven't gotten this grace yet, so it confirms that they're moving pretty slowly. And I can just use this time to re-equip and also just evaluate what is going on in like what I might be up against. Because being patient is generally a good thing when you're invading. Yeah, because as you can see, like they went fully all the way back down to go try and get me on the ladder. Now this guy is Rivers of Blood, Shield, White Mask, and Veteran's Armor. So you know that they are probably over leveled because I'm at 87. And this is the build I finished the DLC with, and they're trying to provoke me to come and attack. But I know I have an entire level's worth of enemies, and as you can see there, that did like 200 damage, and then also like did some other lingering stuff. So I won the little trade there with the spells, but I know that I have a giant gargoyle behind me, as well as a lot of level and enemies. So I just want to get these guys to come this way, but they're very, very cautious. And considering that, yeah, sometimes you just need to grandstand a little bit with Golden Crux. Because I knew that from that little interaction on the stairs, they're just like walking forward and using the L2, that I could hyper armor through that and then just crush it with the Ash of War. So I am very much just being the intimidating boss-like invader at this point. And that is honestly, like, that's a good thing. I want, like, there's nothing wrong with these guys being cautious, but I want them to respect the damage that I can do. And although like it was really good damage in a data flask, like Golden Crux, like with it being like a grab attack, is like, I know there's some weird stuff with the hitbox on it and stuff, but mostly I'm just like, this looks really cool. I don't know how to abuse what the weird like roll grab stuff is anyway, so I'm just probably going to be doing hyper armor trades with it anyway. So I'm just like, I'm glad that they respect my damage, because if they don't respect your damage, then you can run into problems. Like theoretically you can turn it around to like there's a possibility that like if they don't respect the damage, you can get a really good turn and burn, but it makes it really hard to get space if they don't respect your damage. And there, probably the stairs might have helped me a little bit, as I was getting a little bit overconfident testing out the rings of light. But those are also kind of nice because they just kind of like sit on the stair. Like they might be something that I just have to learn how to free aim. And also, now that they have at least one down there and that the knights are going, I'm just like, ooh, this is nice. Because those Landell knights are, they're no joke, especially with the arrows. Like they're gonna snipe. And now seeing that these guys are over here, I'm waiting to go down because like they haven't really shown any like ranged spells. I'm seeing whether or not they go into the manor or up on the roots, because the roots are gravity kill central, and the manor is going to be just a long invasion. And there I swapped to the robustness talisman so I don't accidentally get bled out by Rivers of Blood and have Troll's Roar interrupted. And these guys make what I'd say is the air quote mistake of fighting the PvE when in this scenario, when they're trying to charge the fog wall and they know that there is an invader not far behind them, they need to charge the fog wall. You need to get host to the wall and despawn the invader. Where here, where they're slowing down to fight these guys, I have the opportunity to run up ahead, know where my spot to finish the fight is, and although that troll's roar didn't work, the host rolls off and I get a nice victory. GG guys. I know it was a long one, but I hope all the strategy stuff was useful, and also that all the build information was nice. Yeah, so I guess here's just a nice, short, silly, failed ambush to finish off the video with. I hope all of you are still enjoying the DLC and all the PvP stuff. I did appreciate the hotfix patch, at least for like the perfumes and some of the other stuff. And yeah, thank you all so much for your time. Really appreciate it. I really enjoy FromSoft PvP, and it's glad to see the community growing and enjoying these videos. Again, thank you all so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!